achieving that? Do we live that? Because if we're honest, many times we get kind of confused. And we start thinking life is about the house I have, and the car that I have, and what other people think about me. And I'm not thinking about being a saint. This is the most important thing, because this is how you find life to the fullness. It's keeping Christ number one in our life. And the next quote here, this is really amazing. The key to it is very simple. True happiness is to be found in God. We need to have the courage to place our deepest hopes in God alone, not in money, in a career, in worldly success, or in our relationships with others, but in God. Only He can satisfy the deepest needs of our hearts. This is what Catholic education is about. Do we have this focus? So we need to. We really need to understand this. To be holy. Now, there's, you know, you can get on the internet and get this. I really recommend it. You go to Vatican.va and you click on the Holy Father's picture. He'll have the parts where it's apostolic journeys. And click on there and you go to England and find the part where he talks to professors and students, because we don't have time to go through this. This whole thing is God wants your friendship. Yeah, this is important. Listen. And once you enter into friendship with God, everything in your life begins to change. As you come to know Him better, you find you want to reflect something of His infinite goodness in your own life. You're attracted to the practice of virtue. You begin to see greed and selfishness and all the other sins for what they really are. Destructive and dangerous tendencies that cause deep suffering and do great damage. You want to avoid falling into that trap yourself. You begin to feel compassion for people in difficulties, and you are eager to do something to help them. You want to come to the aid of the poor and the hungry. You want to comfort the sorrowful. You want to be kind and generous. And once these things begin to matter to you, you are well on the way to becoming saints. That's what our sons and daughters should have in their hearts. They should be eager to do good. The reality is, they're eager to do their own career, their own success. Now, the conviction instruction for parents. If you want to know what the church says for parents, what convictions you should be establishing in the hearts of your children, it's in the Catechism of the Catholic Church. If you don't have this book in your home, you should. It comes in various forms. Sometimes it's kind of a big green one. But this is what the Catholic Church believes. It's a little technical sometimes, but it's really, this is very important. For the kids, this is a new book that came out called the UCAT. Totally awesome. It's short for Youth Catechism. It's in question and answer format. Very good design. Awesome for the kids. I think every Catholic family should have this for the children, because it's such a great something. But in this book, it tells us the convictions for parents, number 2222. So the duties of parents. Parents educate their children to fulfill God's law. That's the first conviction. The most important thing I need to do is teach my children to do God's law, God's will. But then 2223, listen to this one. They bear witness to this responsibility first by creating a home where tenderness, forgiveness, respect, fidelity, and disinterested service are the rule. Disinterested means it's not in any benefit to you, he's helping. Does that describe your home? That's the conviction you can forge. And yes, how you want your children to be disciplined and to be loving Christ with faith, you have to walk the walk first. There's no way around it. Because kids, they spot sincerity a mile away. And if you say this and then go do something else, they know it's all true. That's why when I talk to them, I carry a lot of weight because I have this. And the kids know that this means I've given my entire life. I'm not just Paul. I've sacrificed everything I have to follow Christ. And they respect that sincerity. And they listen to me in a new way because of that. And so your example is huge, because I tell this a lot about my own, reflect on my own upbringing. When I was a kid, my mom, she prayed an hour every night on her own. I thought every mom was planning. I didn't know that was acceptable. But she taught me what it meant to have a real relationship with Jesus Christ. And she never sat me down and said, Chad, the reason why I prayed an hour is because I want you to be a good young man and understand what Christian life is all about. She never said that. She just did it. She was showing to me that, yes, I'm busy. She worked and she took care of us and she would do the cooking and the cleaning and the laundry and everything else. But every day she had an hour for God. And every day in the evening, Mom would disappear and we all knew where she was. She was up in her bedroom praying. That was an awesome testimony. That's why I'm a priest. You've got to walk the walk. Because otherwise, it's all just hollow chocolate stuff. And so, if you want your children to have these virtues that we're all talking about, look at yourselves. Doesn't mean you have to be perfect. You have to be striving. Now, how else can we form conviction? I have something. First part is openness to formation. This is the difficulty with conviction. Conviction is something that they have to freely accept. When they go to school, they don't have a choice about school. They have to go to school. Some kids like it, some kids don't. But to forge conviction, you have to somehow want them to want it. So how do you do that? How do you get that openness to formation? Well, that's where there's no easy ways to do it in the family. And you have to be paying attention. Let me give you an example. There's this one mom, she called me up one day. She said, Father, I don't know what to do because my little boy Timmy, he's having a birthday party, a 12-year-old, he's turning 12, he's having a birthday party, he's inviting all the kids in the carpool, because we're all families together, and we all get in the van together every single day. He's inviting all the boys in the carpool except for one, because he doesn't like that one kid. And she said, I want to tell Timmy, you invite him whether you like it or not. And she said, should I do that for him? And I said, well, look, I know Timmy, and I know this other kid that he's talking about. And first off, definitely he is a monkey. He's kind of insecure, and he does really dumb things to get attention. He drives everybody nuts. And so I said, first, he's kind of being, I can understand why he's thinking. It's not that he's just this malicious kid just wanting to cut me in somebody's life. But I said, he's 12 years old. He's becoming, he's maturing. And ideally, he should want to invite him, even though he doesn't like him. Because ideally, he should think about others, not himself. So I said, what I would do is give him a chance to exercise his know what? It's your party. I'm not going to force you to play. It's your choice. I think Christ would be very proud of you if you did. But it's your choice. And after this conversation, I'm not going to talk about it again. And I told her, after you say that, shut up. We don't talk about it anymore. And she's like, Father, I don't know what to say. I don't know. I said, this is the opportunity for him to force conviction. You can't force conviction. He's got to struggle with this. And if he doesn't do the right thing, then it's a gigantic thermometer for you that's all hollow. If he does rise to this, you're forging the conviction. And he's becoming a young man, which he shouldn't be able to do something like this. And so, in the end, Mom backed off. She didn't say anything. She didn't know what was going to happen. And on the birthday party, it was there. Because Timmy went and reflected on it. Because Mom wasn't pushing him, he made a free choice. And that one birthday party forged conviction in his heart that will last his whole life. Now, obviously, you can't do this when kids are younger. The younger you have to be forging, really making the environment very, very stable and making it for them. But as they get older, you have to give these opportunities. You have to be paying attention to them. Because otherwise, it's all you. It's not really coming from them. Does that make sense? So you have to be kind of paying attention. When I'm doing camps and things, I'm always looking for the opportunity of formation. I'm always on the ball. And so